good idea. They've been punishing Karthus so much, or have the potential to punish Karthus so much in that long lane. You don't really want to allow him to just farm out and then start moving around. They're keeping him down pretty low. I mean, 10 minutes in to only have 53 minion kills on a Karthus is nothing compared to his regular clip.
Well, if you compare the lanes, I mean, you've got the Shen technically against Rumble is obviously winning out that one because he has that wave, despite the fact he is against Celavar in that bottom lane. The two mid laners, which should be Wukong and Karthus, they are very much even on the CS, but Celavar, of course, 0-1, down 2 assists for Wukong. Meanwhile, the two ADs, which are currently in the mid lane, are pretty much dead even. So overall, Fnatic are just squeaking out in all the lanes, and of course, the gold is definitely in their favor, because they have that extra kill advantage. Peke in that top lane, stand in the bush, and maybe Xaxus is not going to fall for anything this time around. He's not going to be that aggressive. He's just going to keep his lane where it stands.
And this will be the third attempted gank onto Xaxus. He really wants to look into that brush. You can also see Overpow coming up to maybe counter gank. If they go in, Amumu might arrive at the right time.
There's the Wukong ultimate going off, and Xaxus comes straight in. It's going to be a bandage shot. The Requiem is going to come out as well, but I don't think the damage is quite following enough here, and they are just going to keep on towards Cyanide. There's the ultimate from Xaxus, and now they're turning it back on towards Overpower. They're going to back away. They did force the stand united from Soaz, but it was not enough.
Overpow actually played that really, really well. He acted as if he was waiting for Cyanide's Olaf ultimate to wear out and then pop his Curse of the Sad Mummy, but then he actually ended up baiting out Soaz's ultimate and then not having to ult to hold. But they ult on the tower. They're going for XPeke.
Curse of the Sad Mummy does come out, and XPeke taken down very low, but the Ignite is running. They're going to go towards Soaz. Soaz is going to go down. Cyanide may well be the follow-up. You can see the bandage toss hasn't come out. It's a double kill. Very nice from Overpow. And now XPeke is in all sorts of trouble. He's going to try and back away to the turret. Is it going to be enough? You can see Misfortune trying to crack him down. Aqua will come out. Bullet Tide comes out and just drops him where he stands. That's going to turn the kills around. It's 5-3 for Anexis.
Not wasting a second, he realized he could completely cut off XPeke's escape if he just started channeling bullet time at that exact location, and they cleaned that one up, essentially turning a 2v3 into a double kill for Overpow. All of that was because they played the initial gank attempt so well, saved the Curse of the Sad Mummy, and really set themselves up for that situation.
Very nicely played. We also saw that Yellow Stars switched it up here, gone down towards that bottom turret, and actually put a lot of damage down on that bottom turret. Look at Rotic coming around the side. And Yellow Star is going to try and hook himself away, but Soaz is straight away there. Shadow Dash straight onto Erotic. That's going to cause problems for Erotic. Celavar is going to come in and save the day. As in the hole comes out. Is it going to be enough damage coming down though? Oh, but no. Here comes Aqua. They're going to turn this one back around. Erotic safe. He could get a hook out, puts the hook, not quite going to land though. Soaz is trapped. He has to Shadow Dash away, and that was another great bit of coverage from Anexis. Now it's going to force the Dragon, maybe.
That was almost a disaster as Soaz flashed over the wall into a whole heap of trouble. But Erotic actually ended up tanking the Dragon at the start. He's very low. Fnatic looks like they want to try something here. I don't know if Cyanide's brave enough to go when he has ult and Ghost. He might try to brute force the Dragon Steal here.
Celavar out of mana as well, and they realize it. Cyanide tries to come and get the steal. Instead, he could turn the kills down. Erotic's taken down very low. He will get dropped. Now Overpower's going to be the target. He should get dropped as well. So it was a 2-for-0, and it's a double kill given to Cyanide. Meanwhile, Peke taken very low once again at the top by Xaxus.
Battle of the junglers right now, because we see 5 kills coming out on a Cyanide and 3 kills on Overpow. The rest of the game is incredibly even.
Bottom turret should go down to Fnatic here. This will be the first one of the game. Meanwhile, Xaxus is working overtime on towards that top turret as well. So there we go. First turret of the game goes to Fnatic. Gold still very much even towards them. Xaxus unable to do a great deal of damage. He is Rumble after all. He's not going to be able to just plow through those turrets. But Yellow Star has switched up straight away to this top lane. So now it's going to be the duo lane versus Xaxus in the top.
And it seems like Yellow Star is just kind of roaming around and trying to shove as many lanes as possible, repelling whatever push Anexis tries to throw at them. If Celavar pushes up a lane, he runs there. He's now onto all 3 lanes that have been pushed. That is Yellow Star trying to get as much farm as he can, but even with all that, he's only 10 minion kills ahead of Arkwell.
So mid lane, Peke, we just saw him forced away. We just caught the glimpse of it in that top area. He is 79 CS, so he's actually fell behind Selavar here. He was pretty much keeping up with him. Selavar's definitely accelerated in terms of creep score. He's still going to be pretty even in terms of gold, but of course, once Selavar starts getting enough items, he can clear those creep waves incredibly fast.
And speaking of items, Cyanide picked up a Sunfire Cape already, 14 minutes into the game. A lot of the times, if you run a jungle Olaf, you don't get the same just immensity that runs through the enemy team. This time, they're going to be completely fine with 5,000
Selavar's coming in, wall of pain on towards N-rated and immediately forces the flash. Meanwhile, the top lane now has a 3-man stack. So Anexis push the middle while Fnatic try and drive the top. There is a 3-man Anexis team now at the top there, as we saw Cyanide head his way down that jungle, passing wards as he goes. So both lanes actually backing off.
Wonder if we're going to see this game calm down or not, because they've killed the first tower and there's a lot of wards out in the river. Maybe it can curb some aggression, but the teams are always looking to fight, it seems.
Selavar just coming around to prevent Peke from monkeying around. Meanwhile, N-rated is continuing to cover off. N-rated at the moment has been solo defending this mid lane. He's up to 21 CS. He's just defending it against Arco, which is not bad.
A lot of their team right now for Fnatic seems to just be on turret defense duty. We've seen it with the way Yellowstar's been moving around, and you can see it by just stationing N-rated in the mid lane. They might be coming in for flank here. You saw the pings come down. Xpeke uses his stealth. He did get seen by Ward. He's going in.
He got spotted. He managed to get his ultimate off and catches Aqua out. Aqua flashes away, and that's going to be the Shadow Dash straight away from Soaz. Catches the taunt onto him. The Lulu Wild Growth will pop him up, and that's going to be Peke picking up the kill straight away. Ace in the hold on towards the Roddick. Cyanide should finish this one off. He will, and that's a 2 for 0. And Fnatic grouped up and tactically pulled in very nicely. Banish just licking past Cyanide there. Didn't quite catch on that. May well have caught him under the turret, but instead it is going to be Fnatic continuing to put pressure on the turret. They're going to have to back off though.
And this game is not looking to slow down anytime soon. So much of the gold though is getting channeled straight onto Cyanide, which is actually extremely good for them in the long run. He's going to be able to dive through, run through the Karthus, run through the Amumu Wall, and get onto Misfortune to stop that bullet time plus Amumu combo from working.
So Zazas goes back towards top, covers off Soaz, passes straight through the ward, and gives his position away. Selavar back in towards that mid lane. He's starting to grow huge in terms of CS. Well, I say huge. In the grand scheme of things, he's at 122. If you think back to Froggen Season 2, at 323 minutes, he's not quite going to be hitting them levels, but this is not a CLG game. They do not passive farm. Instead, they go aggressive, and it's Cyanide and Soaz once again going on towards Zazas. That was a terrible axe. He wasn't even close to hitting that one, and instead they do both choose to back away. Zazas is going to try and bait them in, overheats instead, and they return to lane. So the duo lane back in towards that mid lane. We have Yellowstar, Selavar going back down towards the bottom. Peke, is he going to go straight face to face? I would not want to go in towards an angry Wukong.
Let's see how much he can get farmed up here, because he doesn't really have huge items yet. You can see he's going towards a Black Cleaver, so he'll be able to shred once he gets in there, but he's a very squishy, fiery Wukong right now. That's going to be tricky for him come the later team fights unless he gets some defensive tanky stats.
Well, we saw some disco dancing from a Roddick in the mid lane. We do see Fnatic stacking up to try and defend out this one. A potential push could come from them. Of course, we haven't seen a Roddick landing too many hooks just yet, but that's definitely going to come later on in the game. And Rated was kind of poised ready for that one. We do see Cyanide on the race just below poking out. So, lane's starting to balance themselves out here, chat. Pretty close game, honestly. It is 1,000 gold between the two, 7-5 kills, 1-0 turrets. How are you seeing the items stacking out as we see Anexis 5-man in the mid?
It just has to do with whether Fnatic can dive through all the AoE of Anexis, and with the Warmogs and the Sunfire Cape on Shen and Olaf, they might have that chance. They're poking with axes. Again, we see a flank coming in from Xpeke. This is the one moment of peace we've had in the game. They're immediately backing away because they knew that Wukong was coming in from behind them.
Yeah, they saw him leave that bottom lane and immediately scented him coming in? Scented him? Smelled him coming in. Scent smelled. It's a bit of a mix between the two. Selavar catching on towards N-rated here. Damage coming down on N-rated. Of course, the support can't take that much. Roddick may well get the hook on. I think he kind of thought he was on the wrong map there. He was expecting to bounce around. Instead, it's going to be Wukong diving in. He's going to be catching on towards Arco. He's going to catch everyone bouncing in the air. Zaza's taken down very low. That's going to be Arco dropped by Peke in the middle there. Roddick also taken lower. Roddick gets dropped by Peke. It's a double kill for Cyanide. Cyanide, and now Celavar's going to get dropped as well. He turns it around. Has the Requiem going to be enough, though? Overpower gets dropped as well, surely. Here comes the Requiem. Can they take Soaz? They do. They managed to pick up a double kill, and now N-Rated's going to get chased out by Overpower. Overpower could turn this into a triple kill. It was for Carthon. Celavar picked up another, and this could be another kill. It will be N-Rated going down. What a fight. 4v4. Crazy, crazy action. And well, Celavar just picked up a whole chunk of gold, but 9-3-1 for Cyanide.
Absolute bloodbath right there. The big thing is the Cyanide gold went on to Celavar there, so Karthus is going to be getting a whole heap of gold from that. That was really a crazy fight. You could tell the Fnatic doesn't quite have the defensive stats to be able to sit in the Amumu Despair and the Karthus Defile and just take that damage, because it looked like they flanked properly when Xpeke got in the back and finished off Arkwell very quickly. But then the fight persisted and everyone on Fnatic got cleaned up.
Well, you can see that Roddick has come back in the mid lane, and wow, Peke immediately diving and knocking himself down. So Peke getting a lot of damage on towards him now. Brudler is in there. Hook just misses out. Celavar picks up the blue buff, and again, everybody returns to the mid lane. Immediately, that's going to be the mid turret going down now. Fnatic driving home their advantages. 2-0 in turrets, 11-9 in kills, and just 1,000 gold between the two, and Dragon is up.
Everyone looks kind of ready to fight. They do not have a Requiem, and there is no Curse of the Sad Mummy. However, the Wukong ult is off a cooldown. That comes much faster. They're going to look to fight this once again. The non-stop pace continues. I don't even think they're going to try to finish the Dragon. They want to go in as quickly as possible.
They're going to dive in. That's going to be the Wukong ultimate. Roddick is going to get dropped where he stands, as is Arkwell. Didn't even get a chance to do anything. Xaxus goes down. It's a double kill for Peke. Celavar is going to get dropped. He doesn't have Requiem back available, so he can't turn this one back around. He's going to be a double kill for Soaz, and now Overpower is going to get dropped. He's managed to take them all so low, but just can't quite get a kill. He couldn't pick anyone off. Everybody was low enough. Soaz was the only death. It was an 8.
Sad Mummy at this point. That would have been the end of the fight, but Fnatic realized that those spells were on cooldown, so they went in at exactly the right moment, fought as quickly as possible, forced the Dragon, got the fight, and really made up for the last fight previously where they'd gotten aced.
So 21 minutes gone, 16-10 in kills, and well, back and forth action. But Fnatic have managed to turn it into an advantage. Teleport bottom lane. That's going to be Celavar coming in to try and clear out. And wow, look at that. He tried to zip his way in with the home guard boots, but it was not enough. And instead, he clears out the wave. We saw that a few times from Meet Your Makers. So maybe it's a thing for the Polish AP carries. Come speeding in on Karthus.
It's the dream of Karthus to just be able to run in and murder whoever you want. But Yellow Star was a little too quick on the uptake there, firing off his 90 caliber net pretty immediately and perfectly, and ended up negating Celavar's teleport entirely.
So nicely played in the bottom. How are Anexis going to react to this one? What do they need to do? They've just lost pretty much a big team fight. It's turned, really snowballed the gold. It's suddenly turned it from a 1k gold team to a 5k gold difference. It's a big turn of power.
And the strange thing is, Wukong didn't go for Death Cap. They're just keeping the action up, going for Xaxus. He's dead.
He is dead, dead, dead. Peke's going to finish that one off, although he almost did not. And Overpower is going to get back in and clear things out there. So Peke is being a murderer right now. He's just popping out of the jungle, popping out of the bushes. 5-1-8. He has destroyed that whole team comp that they went for. The whole AE team comp that you talked about with the Curse of the Sad Mummy, the bullet time. I don't think Arkwell's been able to get that off yet because Peke's just been in his face every time.
Arkwell's been a really, really sad misfortune this entire game because that's not even his biggest threat. I think the biggest threat later is going to be the 9-3 Olaf, who's just running for him right now, actually, in mid lane, popping his ult. Let's see if he can get him.
There he is. Ragnarok goes down. Wild Growth as well. He's just going to continue trying through this one. Erotic, though, now is going to be the target. Soaz comes in with Stan United. They could follow through, but they're at worried. And that's going to be the hook, actually. N-rated, pulled it towards the tower. The turret's going to get damaged. The bullet time goes off. Celavar should pick up the kill. He's managed to shield himself. Can he escape? One more. Will he waste? All he needs to do, he's trying to juke it around.
Celavar's out of mana.
Oh, he's got out of mana. N-rated's going to get away from this one. No, he's going to get hooked in. Oh, Arkwell picks up the kill eventually, but while that all went on, Peke was just laying down the hurt on the top turret.
N-rated, just being the annoying Yordle that everyone sees him to be, could not get finished off. Xpeke doing a great job of keeping the pressure up. That's one thing Fnatic does better than almost all the other European teams, is they make sure that they keep the action happening. Even if something's going wrong, they'll try to make a positive play elsewhere.
It's now a 7k gold lead, 17-11 kills, 4-0 turrets, and well, that is starting to hurt Anexis. That top inner turret was not what they wanted to let slip when they were just chasing one single support kill with 4 players. That shows they are definitely up against it here, and the gold spread across the team, you can see it's pretty vast.
And with all of that gold, the 8,200 on Wukong, the 8,900 on Olaf, really thousands ahead of their counterparts on the other team. It's become the League of Warmogs for them at this point because they've beefed up, they've gotten all the health items on their 3 main divers, and this is the point where they feel like they could sit in a Mumu's Despair and Karthus' Defile and be just fine. I'd expect Fnatic to continue to keep this pressure up, but maybe be even more aggressive and consider diving straight on top of turrets because they might have the items and the item advantage on Anexis right now to do that.
We also see 2 of those Iron Located Solaris in there counteracting effectively what Misfortune is going to do. This is something we saw Diamond Prox doing for Gambit Gaming just the other week as well on Shinzao. As it is, they've got 2 of them this time on the support and the top laner of Soaz. And well, Anexis are going to have to really try and turtle the way out of this one. They have to make that AE comp work itself. They haven't once landed the combination yet, and now we're seeing Peke trying to sneak in, trying to take advantages. We are going to see Erotic sneaking his way around. Bandage shots from Overpower comes straight around. He suspected that Peke was there. Tries to get for the smite, but no, Peke picked it up. Peke managed to get the steal, and now he's going to turn on towards Overpower. He just backs off. Overpower will not let him finish on the turret.
Overpower really just panicking a little bit, realizing he couldn't tank that much from Xpeke, tried to smite and get out of there, and he ended up just completely whiffing it, giving a blue buff for free to Wukong. They might try to initiate right here on the turret. Fnatic might dive in.
That's going to be bullet time completely missing, really. What? Sad Mommy was not used. The combination is backfiring so far from the Nexus, and this is what we talked about in the picks and bans. Have they gone with his team comp because they just felt it's overpowered right now, or have they really managed to combine it? We saw it going wrong so often at Katowice. It's not working right now for a Nexus.
I just had a trick get played on me. The decoy from Xpeke fooled me. Now they're going in.
Now they're going to go in. That's going to be Peke catching the entire team. That is the AE comp. Then you can see Cyanide going through, wrecking face. Soaz stomping through. They are just destroying the entire back line of Anexis. Overpower, the last man standing around the side there. It's a double kill for Soaz, and now Yellowstar on towards Overpower. He's going to trap him down. He doesn't care. They're just going to go for the turret. It's a 4-for-1.
They do not care about Amumu here, and you talked about the AE comp coming out from Anexis. That's a static AE comp. Amumu puts out his ultimate, and then Misfortune has to sit there and channel it. But Wukong is just a moving AoE comp, especially when you combo it with Lulu right now. So they just outclassed Anexis in the way they've been playing and just in the mobility of their team because they're able to flank around, they're able to get to the targets they want, and you cannot say the same for what Anexis is doing.
And honestly, you know, we talked about it last week, or 2 weeks ago now, I'm losing track of my mind. In the Season 3 North American live qualifiers, the difference between the collegiate and the professional team, saying it was all about, it wasn't the players, the individual solo queue players, they were just as strong elo, but it was all about the teamwork. And now we're seeing against the difference between pro teams and the very best pro teams in the teamwork. And the teamwork of Fnatic is just superior right now.
The coordination has been really awesome for them, just willingly tower diving and going in at just the right moment. This will be a dragon that gets picked up for a Nexus, but that's only going to be 1,000 gold. It's a drop in a hat from the 9,000 that they are down entirely. It's going to be really tricky for them to come back in this one because we've seen the mobility, the team play, the coordination, and the combos that Fnatic's been able to pull off.
Selavar needs to get that death cap. There it is, completed. He has got the home guard boots on. Can he teleport and try and zip onto someone? No real free target, so it's not going to happen for him. Instead, he's just going to go and clear that bottom wave. Top wave, also you see a giant stack being pushed up there by Soaz. And across the board, it is going to be Arkwall trying to cover that one off and defend it. And doesn't want to push too far. As it is, we do see Cyanide making his way through. The red buff actually opens. Selavar's going to get caught out. Peke is just wrecking him in that bottom lane. He gets destroyed. And now Cyanide chases them and bullies them away from the red buff in the top lane. All the lanes at the moment are starting to gain advantage for Fnatic.
And it's kind of cool that Xpeke, I was thinking about why he wouldn't go Black Cleaver but instead go Yumos. And it's because he's popping it while he's Wukong ulting to keep his ult on people.
Oh, really Ragnarok cool. Popped by Cyanide there. 3 members of Anexis went for him, but it doesn't matter because the bottom lane there just poking in towards that inhibitor. Yellow Star, just putting a couple of shots on there. Yellow Pete putting in a performance from Germany, deciding to lend a hand from CLG. Yellow Star, however, is pushing that bottom lane.
You can tell Anexis has no way of keeping up with the pace of this game. Fnatic is completely ahead of them. They're getting the pick kills. They're split pushing them like crazy. They almost finished off that inhibitor, and Anexis is just completely constrained to their base. They have no answer for the split push and the overall pressure that Fnatic is putting out.
And I don't think I've seen N-Rated actually alongside Yellowstar for much of this game. He's just pretty much been in that mid lane. He's got 53 CS now. It's 0-3-17. Fantastic score coming around. Erotic now. They're all going to dive in towards him, but immediately Peke pops his ultimate and just drops Erotic with his Oracle where he stands. Curse of the Sand Mummy comes out. Yellowstar is going to go down, but immediately, no, he's not. Castagna 90 comes out. He finally drops down. Bullet Time comes out. Is it going to be enough? No. They're going to give me a double kill for Peke. Peke's going to have the shield comes on him, and Rated came round just at the right time. Salavar cannot finish that off with Requiem, and well, Fnatic get another 3 for 1.
And this whole game, Fnatic has done such a good job shutting down Arquel that when he finally did get his bullet time off, he didn't have enough items to really make it matter. He's built a Giant's Belt and now a Warmogs because he's done nothing but have to survive in fights, which means when he did get to channel his ultimate, it didn't do anything. It couldn't cut through the Warmogs armor from Fnatic. So it's just a total victory for them at this point.
And more to the point, you know, every time we generally see Curse of the Sad Bullet Time, it's backed up by something. There's somebody else going in there. There's a Kha'Zix leaping in. There's a Olaf going through. Something somewhere to clean up with that Black Cleaver help.
Well, Anexis' plan was to have, I think, Karthus do that. They wanted it to get everyone low and then have the Karthus ultimate come in at the end and finish it off. But it's just not quite enough. You almost want that resetting action that you'd get from a Kha'Zix, or the dive through from someone like Olaf, because sure, they can pull off the combo. If in an ideal situation, you know, they actually couldn't pull off the combo, but if they did get off the combo, they'd still have no way of touching priority targets like Yellowstar, who's going to be sitting in the back happily all day just shooting people with Caitlyn.
And as we saw it there, Soas will just pop that Stand United on him whenever he's in remote little bit of danger. Salavar putting the wall of pain down on the bush there, so fearful of going in towards that blue bush, but the blue bush is far from Fnatic thoughts right now. And the ping's coming out, the ward's going out, and well, Anexis are seeing what they can do. They have the inhibitor down in the bottom lane. They've tried to clear out the waves of that one. They have a decent wave along the top, so Anexis are in a fairly decent defensive position, and they are going to try and come out and try and get some wards out. We do see Fnatic also having a peek around. Peke trying to take down that ward. Erotic, well, that complete claptraps are just blocking off that entire entrance. There's no way you're going to get past that without standing on a trap.
And I just want to point out, the Fnatic has 25 kills in 31 minutes. This game has been remarkably fast-paced. They have never stopped their aggression. They're really just trying to bait Anexis into doing something here. Shen's split-pushing top. They trapped all around. Xpeke is just waiting in that flank. He wants to stealth decoy around the corner and then initiate. They're just hoping Anexis peeks their head out far enough that they can go.
Waiting to see whether they can snap it off. Salavar is going to go down the bottom. They're going to dive on towards Xaxus. There's no teleport position. Bullet Time did manage to land, but well, Peke comes straight in and puts bait to that. Xaxus has been taken down. Arcor gets taken down. Overpower's just running for his life. Salavar didn't even get a chance to teleport in there because it was all over before the fight even began, and it's 2-0 that fight, and Fnatic now just going to drive through on the inner and then the inhibitor turret.
A lot of good that Warmogs did Arkel in that situation.
Yeah.
He died in about 1 second instead of 0.75 seconds to all the damage that Fnatic just destroyed him with. Xpeke 9-1-14 on Wukong. I mean, so many kills. All of them have amazing scores. They're just rolling through a Nexus at this point.
And it's also, don't forget, 11-3-11 for Cyanide. Cyanide's incredibly strong, and all of the assists, you just look across the board, everyone's been involved in all of the fights. It's not just been happening, it's not been solo kills. Everybody stacks up, and once they find a target, they destroy it. Overpower pops Curse of the Sad Mummy. You can see the ultimate coming out. Erotic's going to try and get on towards N-Rated. Peke was taken down. Overpower picks up a kill there. Can they get on towards N-Rated? No, has to pop the Wild Growth. Tries to keep himself at bay. Yellowstar tries to turn around towards Salavar. The Arkwall picks up the kill. Overpower on towards N-Rated. Cyanide picking up another kill. Cyanide still romping through though, and there's going to be Requiem. Will it be enough on towards Overpower? Xaxus is going to come around. That Sunfire Cape is not going to keep him at bay much longer. Bandage Toss misses. Cyanide's going to walk away from this one. He's going to try and trot away. He's got another Bandage Toss to dodge in a moment. It throws out the axe. We've already seen one Olaf trying to dodge, trying to chase someone round a turret. This time Overpower. Bandage Toss is coming any second, and Cyanide knows it. He's going to weave. He's going to dodge. He's got to get away. Would you believe it?
So a great escape there by Cyanide, the double juke on the first bandage toss and harpoon from Rumble. But the only reason they got repelled from the base in the first place was a perfect combination of ultimates between Overpower and Zazus. Rumble ultimate just sat them in Curse of the Sad Mummy, and if they can catch Fnatic in those types of wombo combos, that's when they will have a chance to get the fight. But it's just Fnatic has been way too mobile and way too aggressive the entire time to let that happen. And now with multiple inhibitors down, a Nexus turret down, and Baron buff spawning with no Anexis wards in the area, I feel like Fnatic's going to continue their mobility and continue to fight on their terms to not let a fight like that happen again.
And you got to wonder, I don't think Selavar's going to be able to run in and get that Defile running. As soon as he approaches there, Cyanide is going to be smashing him with that Axis, and they are heading straight in there. The ward's going to come out. They see it. It is the Baron. Erotic is trying his best to keep around there. Could he go for a hook? Could he go for anything? There's no team members anywhere near him. He's just trying to bait this one out, but they're not going to go for it. It's going to be Fnatic picking up a free Baron.
And with no wards and the entire base pushed back, Anexis could not even think about stopping that one. They're going for the third inhibitor now. This is the classic endgame push. There's pretty much a full-time super minion defender for Anexis because of the two down inhibitors, one of them having just respawned. But I believe there's, yes, an extra wave of super minions coming through that will have to be defended. Fnatic's going to look to dive hard, just like they have been the entire game.
Full tutorial style for Fnatic. They will dive hard into this one with a vengeance. As it stands, the minions are going to come along, and they see that bottom inhibitor has been taken down. Selavar surely the target. Overpower wants to land it. Can they get that combo off? They do manage to keep it out. Oh, and the bandage toss missing out from Overpower there. He was going for a beacon. You can already see Banshee's Veil on Yellow Star. They are well protected now. They've had long enough, and there is 4 Warmogs on Fnatic. They get the hook. It goes on towards Peke. He doesn't care. Just manages to
hook the decoy.
They hook the decoy in. And he gets straight away from that one. So goes Soaz goes in. Shadow Taunt. Wild Growth pops it up. Everybody dives in the air. Peke comes leaping around. Bullet time does go off, but it doesn't manage to land them. Selavar went in there. Tries to get his Defile across everyone. Requiem is going to come out. Is it going to be enough damage? No, it is not. The shield comes out, and now we pass around. We do see Peke diving in. He's spinning around. He's going to be diving straight. Stand United comes out. Soaz on towards Peke. They're trying to get away. Cyanide taking down the inhibitor off the side. Meanwhile, this is happening. Yellow Star's up the top. They're pushing the top to it. Now they're on towards Overpower. Doesn't quite catch the Shadow Dash. Could they turn it around? Arkle could punish this one through, but they have to deal with the top lane. They keep catching onto them. They thought they'd gone to a decoy. They had gone to the right one, but it doesn't matter because Peke comes back onto them. That's going to be Erotic going down. Overpower gets dropped as well. Meanwhile, this is happening. Yellow Star's taking down the inhibitor turret with Enrated. Now they push on with the rest of Fnatic and take the game. Fnatic are going to pick up the first win. It wasn't really under any doubt, but honestly, Anexis gave them a good run for the money. 31-16, lots of kills in this game.
And that game was frantic, if I had to find a word for it. 31 kills to 16 and only 30